Hey folks, before you watch my video, I want to give you this quick update as it appears that federal authorities have now taken a 56-year-old Florida man, Cesar Sayic of Aventura, Florida, into custody. Sayic has an extensive criminal record dating back 27 years that includes multiple charges of grand larceny and a 2002 guilty plea to charges of making bomb threats. So it appears that this is the guy that's been sending homemade bombs to leading political figures and media people as well. Now, if we take a look at his van, yeah, this is not surprising. So he's a big Donald Trump supporter, and his van is full of stickers, many of which have targets on these political figures that he sent bombs to. So he has a target here on Hillary Clinton, a target on Obama, which for some reason is riding a tricycle and smoking a cigarette or a joint. A target on Van Jones of CNN with a sticker saying CNN sucks, dishonest media. And a target on Michael Moore, even a target on Jill Stein. So, yeah, I mean, this is not the least bit surprising. And as you're going to see in my video, it's pretty much what I predicted. Somebody that is on the right and is not in their right mind. So I just want to give you that update before you watch the rest of this video where I break down this story. Homemade bombs have been sent to a number of political figures all across the U.S., from the Clintons to George Soros to Debbie Wasserman Schultz to Obama to Robert De Niro to Maxine Waters. I'm likely missing some names here. As I'm shooting this, they might even be finding more of these homemade bombs. But let me show you what these devices look like. So this tweet from Aaron Cattersky. This is a device addressed to the former CIA director, courtesy of CNN. The NYPD took it to the Bronx for detonation. Now, I forgot to mention, yes, the media also got some of these bombs. So CNN received one. It was addressed to an MSNBC anchor, but sent to CNN. You know, the kind of thinking that a Trump supporter might have, the sort of messed up brain that thinks, oh, I hate that guy. Yeah, it doesn't work for CNN. And then, no, he doesn't. It works for MSNBC. But whatever. So let me show you, maybe, possibly, what fanned these flames.
I certainly don't incite violence.
Knock the crap out of him. Like to punch him in the face.
I don't condone violence, and I don't talk about violence.
I would have done well, but I would have been boom, boom, boom. I'll beat that. I don't know if I'll do the fighting myself or if other people will.
Maybe he should have been roughed up because it was absolutely disgusting what he was doing.
If you see somebody getting ready to throw a tomato, knock the crap out of him, would you? Seriously. Like to punch him in the face, I'll tell you. Try not to hurt him. If you do, I'll defend you in court. Don't worry about it. In the good old days, this doesn't happen because they used to treat them very, very rough. And when they protested once, you know, they would not do it again so easily. We become weak. We become weak.
And you know what? The audience swung back. And I thought it was very, very appropriate. The audience hit back. And that's what we need a little bit more of now.
Part of the problem and part of the reason it takes so long is nobody wants to hurt each other anymore, right? I don't know if I would have done well, but I would have been out there fighting, folks. I don't know if I would have done well, but I would have been boom, boom, boom. I'll beat that.
Do you plan on paying for the legal fees of this older gentleman in North Carolina who sucker punched the protester?
From what I understand, he was sticking a certain finger up in the air. And that is a terrible thing to do in front of somebody that, frankly, wants to see America made great again.
It's possible you could help him with legal fees if this man needs it.
I've actually instructed my people to look into it, yes.
Yeah. Now, I think Donald Trump is at least partly to blame here. Now, of course, right-wing extremism was already on the rise before Donald Trump, but it has hit a new level under Donald Trump. And this sort of behavior may give you an indication as to why. But you know what? No. According to some lunatics, some real lunatics on the right, like Candace Owens, no, there is a 0% chance that this was done by a Trump supporter or a conservative. So here's Candace Owens' tweet. I'm going to go ahead and state that there is a 0% chance that these suspicious packages were sent out by conservatives. The only thing suspicious about these packages is their timing. Caravans, fake bomb threats, these leftists are going all out for midterms. This is somebody who is paid to do this. Candace Owens is just a pure grifter. Now, she may also be not well. For you to think that these... Let's even take away the bomb threats. How about the caravan? The caravan of people from Honduras. Why the hell, or how the hell, would Democrats be funding a caravan of people from Honduras who are escaping actual terrible conditions? Why would Democrats be funding this caravan to come to the U.S. border? I mean, like, what are you talking about? These people, you can't reason with this. There is no logic in this. So, look, let me show you why this is very likely right-wing extremism. An analysis of the global terrorism database by researchers at the University of Maryland, published in 2017, shows a sharp increase in the share of attacks by right-wing extremists, from 6% in the 2000s to 35% in the 2010s. The share of attacks by religious extremists also increased from 9% to 53% between the two decades. Meanwhile, the share of attacks by left-wing terrorists and environmentalist extremists dropped from 64% in the 2000s to 12% in the 2010s. And looking at this graph of the global terrorism database, you can see that terror incidents in the U.S. over the past 15 years have increased. And looking at the attacks in 2017, we can see there have been, out of the 65 incidents, 37 of them were tied to racist, anti-Muslim, homophobic, anti-Semitic, fascist, anti-government, or xenophobic motivations. So that 37 number includes the neo-Nazi extremists in Charlottesville, attacks on mosques in Washington, Texas, and Florida, and an attack on a gay bar in Puerto Rico. And also, according to the Global Terrorism Database, terror attacks by Muslims receive 357% more press attention. So research by the University of Alabama shows attacks by Muslims receive an average of 105 headlines. Others, just 15. Which, again, may give you some indication as to why there are people out there that don't believe that right-wingers can be extreme in their behavior. The media does not cover this issue properly. Most people, at least it appears most people, are afraid of Muslim terrorists, even though the data shows if you're going to be scared of anything, it should be right-wing terrorism. I mean, that's in the data. Now, we can go back in history and look at the 70s. In the 70s, it was mostly left-wing extremism. But things change. And right now, it's right-wing extremism. And when you have a president like Donald Trump saying what he says, the kinds of things that no president on the left have ever said. Donald Trump is clearly fanning the flames here. Now, would this have happened without Trump? Who knows? But it's obvious that the people that were targeted, Maxine Waters, the Clintons, George Soros. I mean, these are people that have been both critical of Trump, but also Trump has been critical of them. I mean, Robert De Niro. Why pick Robert De Niro? Because Robert De Niro went directly after Donald Trump. I mean, all you have to do is use just just some basic logic. Just some this is not hard, guys. This is clearly a right-wing terrorist. Now, are we going to learn more and understand that this person is not in their right mind? Yeah, very likely. I think anybody that does anything like this is not in their right mind. But that just shows you how important it is to have language that does not push these sorts of people over the edge.